Welcome students, welcome to the lecture number 3 of chapter Interface Python with MySQL. Okay, in the previous chapter we have learned about how we can install the MySQL connector package. Okay, and after installing the MySQL connector package, we will include that package by using the import statement. And once the package is imported in my program, then I will use the connect function to establish the connection between Python and the MySQL software. Okay, so today we are going to see that the step number 4, and in the step number 4 we have to know that how to create a cursor instance. Now first of all, what is basically a cursor? So database cursor is basically a special control. Okay, database cursor is basically a special control structure that facilitates the row by row processing of records in the result set. Okay, so over here it is written that database cursor is basically a special control structure. Okay, so database cursor is basically a special control structure. Okay, and what work is done by this control structure? It facilitates row by row processing of records in the result set. Okay, so in this statement two words appears, and one is the basically the cursor, and the second one word which appears is the result set. Now what will these two words specifies? So let me explain you. Alright, so you know that we are working in Python software. Okay, right, and in this chapter we are seeing the connectivity of Python with MySQL. Okay, so over here it is MySQL and RDBMS software for us, right? Okay, and within these two there is MySQL connector with us. Okay, we have MySQL connector. This is basically the package. I hope you know about this package. Okay, we have already discussed it. So there is a MySQL connector package. Okay, so with the help of connect function which is present in this package, we are able to establish the connection between the Python and the MySQL software. So with the help of that connect function, okay, we basically establish the connection between the Python and the MySQL software. Okay, I hope you understand this point because we have already covered this up in the previous lecture, right? So suppose we have issued a command named as select star from employee table. So obviously in the MySQL there is a record of there is a table named as employee which contains records of the employees. Okay, so when we issue this command that select star from employee, that what will happen? The MySQL will store all the records in a container named as result set. Okay, so when the MySQL processes the query which is sent by the user, then the result of that query will get stored in the container called as result set. Okay, so this result set basically contains all the records of the employees. Okay, so when this result set comes to the Python, so Python basically wants to access all the records one by one. Okay, because when you write the command select star from employee, so the MySQL basically copies all the employees record, whether it may be 100 records, 200 records, it doesn't matter. The Python basically MySQL basically copies all the records from the database and store those records in the result set and send the result set to the Python. Now in Python we want to access the records one by one. Okay, we want to access the record one by one, but over here all the records are coming in the form of result set. So what happened, the Python has a control structure named as cursor, or you can say that cursor is basically a variable, we can say that. So there is a cursor present in Python. We will create a variable of cursor. Now what is the work performed by this cursor? This cursor will store the result set in the, so the result set, whatever is sent by as the records which are sent by the SQL in result set, that result set is stored in the cursor. Okay, so why we are going to store the result set in the cursor? Because in result set there are multiple records. Okay, and in order to access those records we need a particular variable in Python. So cursor, so that's why the result set is stored in cursor, because when the data is stored, then when the result set is stored in cursor, then with the help of this cursor we can access all the records individually present in the result set. So we can't access the record from the result set directly. Okay, so we require a object named as cursor. Through the cursor we can access the records present in the result set. Okay, so now I hope this point is clear to you. Over here it is written that database cursor is a special control structure. Obviously database cursor is a basically a control structure which controls the manipulation of the result set, which controls the handling of the result set. So database cursor is basically a special control structure that facilitates the row by row processing of records that are present in the result set. That facilitates row by row, it means each record at one time. So row by row processing of records that is present in the result set. So whenever we issue a command through the connect the MySQL basically sends all the record which satisfy the conditions to the Python. In that case, all the records which is sent as a result by the MySQL will get stored in the result set, and then when this result set approaches to Python, then there is a variable named as cursor, and that cursor hold this result set in it, and with the help of this cursor we can easily access the records which is present in the result set. We cannot access the record directly from the result set, but with the help of the cursor we can access the records which is present in the result set. So what is result set? The result set refers to the logical set of records, okay, that are basically fetched from the database. Okay, as I told you that MySQL is a database. So whenever you issue a command, so the records which satisfy that command, those records will be fetched from the database, okay, and stored in the result set. So now what is the result set? Refers to a logical set of records that are fetched from the database by executing an SQL query and made available to the application program. So I hope it is clear that when we execute an SQL query, the database basically fetches all the record which satisfy this SQL query and store that record in the result set, and then this result set is given to the application program that this result set contain all those records which satisfy your condition. Then Python store the result set in a cursor variable, and once the result set is stored in the cursor variable, then the application program can access the data which is present in the result set one by one, but only with the help of the cursor object. Okay, so let us see what is the syntax for it. The syntax is you have to write the name of the cursor object, whatever name you want to take, then you have to write the connection object and then the cursor function. Okay, so how we basically initiate a cursor? That in order to initiate a cursor we have to write cursor. You can take any variable name. Con is basically whatever the name of the connection. As you see in the previous lecture, we have given the name of the connection as scon. Sorry, no, the name of the connection will be given as con. Okay, so we are using that word. So once the connection is established and the connection function is used on the con variable, then with the help of this statement we can initialize a cursor with the connection object. Okay, so after establishing the connection, then we have to write this statement to initialize the cursor with the connection. Okay, so the next step is that once the cursor is created, then what we have to do, we have to execute our SQL query. Okay, once the connection is created, then we have to execute our SQL query. Then how we can execute our SQL query? Let me see that an SQL query can be executed with the help of execute function. So as you see, in order to establish the connection between Python and MySQL, we have to use the function that is connect. And now in order to execute the query, with the help of that connection, we use the function named as execute. So we have to use this function execute with the cursor object to execute the SQL query. Okay, so how we are going to execute it? This is the syntax, that first you have to write the name of the cursor object, then you will write the execute function, and within the brackets of the execute function you have to write the SQL query. Okay, so this is an example that you seen that we have created a object of the cursor in the previous slide, and then so that we have to write the name of the cursor object, then the execute function, and within the bracket we are going to specify the select query. Okay, select star from employee, this is the query, right? So once this query is executed, a result set is created, and that result set gets stored in the cursor object. Okay, so what happen when this statement execute? This command is issued to the MySQL. Then MySQL create a result set which contains all the records of the table employee, and once the result set is ready, this result set gets stored in the cursor object with the help of this statement. Okay, now the next thing is that after the cursor is ready, then we have to extract data from the result set. Okay, we have to, once the result set data gets stored in the cursor, now after that what we have to do, we have to obviously obtain the data which is present in the result set. So after execution of SQL query, the result set of the query is available in the form of result set. Okay, once the query is executed, so the result of that query is present in the result set stored in the cursor object. Okay, so obviously we have to extract records from that cursor object. Okay, so how this extraction work will be done in Python? So there are some various functions which we can use for extracting data from the result set. Okay, so what are those functions? The first function is the fetch all function. So what is the purpose of this function? This function stores all records obtained from the result set in a tuple form. So what this fetch all function will do, when we execute this fetch all function, it basically copies all the records which is present in the result set and store in the tuple. So what is basically a tuple? In 11th you have learned about list, okay, about the string, about the dictionary. So these are the different ways of storing the data. There is one more way for storing the data, that is the tuple form. Okay, so basically the fetch all function retrieve all the records which is present in the result set and store those records in the form of tuples. Okay, so when we are going to execute it, you will see that how tuples can be handled, right? So fetch all function will basically extract all the records from the result set. Okay, so how we are going to use it? First we have to write the data is equal to cursor, then fetch all. Okay, because data is required. Why? Because when fetch all function is executed, all the records are obtained from the result set, and those records must be stored somewhere. So this data is used for storing that data. Okay, so the next function is fetch one. We have seen the function that is fetch all, but the function fetch all basically obtain all the records from the result set. But fetch one, what will the function performed by the fetch one? The fetch one stores one record obtained from the result set either in a tuple or a list. It up to us that whether we store the single record which is obtained by the fetch one function either in a tuple or a list. Okay, so when we execute this function first time, okay, over here it is written first time it fetch first record. So whenever you execute this function first time, it will, because we know that this function can fetch only a single record at a time. So when you execute this function first time, the first record is obtained, and the next time, and when you execute this function next time, then the second record will be obtained, and so on. Okay, so this function will fetch only single record at a time. So it up to us that we basically execute this function how many times. So when we execute this function first time, it will record the first record, next time it will record the second record, third time it will obtain the third record, and so on. So the syntax is same, that is data, then you have to write the cursor name of the cursor variable, then dot, then fetch one. And what will happen whenever this function execute, it obtain the single record from the result set and store that record in this data variable. Okay, then the next one is basically fetch many. So in the first function, that is fetch all, in that case all the records are obtained. The second function, that is fetch one, in this only a single record is obtained at one time. But suppose if we want to specify that, okay, just obtain this much record from the result set, so in that case we use a function named as fetch many. And in the fetch many, you have seen that it is written n, so it means you have to specify that how many number of records you want to access from the result set. Okay, so this function accepts the number of records to be obtained from the result set. Okay, so in that case you have to mention the number of records that you require from the result set, right? So now you can see that with the help of fetch many function, we can access a number of records as per our choice from the result set. So the syntax for writing it is basically you have to write the variable name in which the records are going to be stored, then the cursor name, and then fetch many, and within the brackets you will specify the number of records which you want to fetch from the result set. Okay, so these are the three functions. One is the fetch all, second one is the fetch one, and third one is the fetch many, which we can use to obtain the records from the result set. Okay, then there is one more important property named as row count. Okay, row count is basically a property. So what is row count? Row count is a property of cursor object. Okay, so it is basically a property of cursor object, and with the help of this property, what we get, it returns the number of rows in the result set present in the cursor. Suppose we have executed a query named as select star from employee where department is equal to sales. Okay, so when this query executes, what will happen? The MySQL will execute this query and copies all the records in which the employee department is sales, and send all those records. Then all the records of the sales department employees get stored in the result set, and then this result set is stored in the cursor. Now we want to know that how many records are present in the cursor, or we can say that we want to know that how many employees belonging to the sales department. Then there is a property named as row count. It helps us to find out the number of records which is present in the result set. Okay, so this property is basically used to get the total number of records present in the result set. And how we are going to use, we will use write a variable name in which the total number of records value gets stored. Then we will write cursor dot row count. So in this way we can find the total number of records present in the result set available in the cursor. Okay, so after that the next step is clean up the environment. Okay, what we have done, we have open the Python editor. Okay, we have imported the mysql.connector package. Then we have used the connect function to establish the connection between MySQL and this Python. Okay, after the connection is established, then we use the execute function to execute the query, and when the query execute, the record of the record from the SQL gets stored in the result set, and that result set gets stored in the cursor. Okay, and after that we have learned about some function like fetch all, fetch one, and fetch many, and with the help of these functions we can obtain the records which is present in the cursor, so which is present in the result set, which is that is available in the cursor. Okay, so now we fetch the records and show the records to the user. All the work is done. So at the end, what we have to do, we have to disconnect the connection between the Python and MySQL. Okay, because before executing this one, we have established the connection between MySQL and Python now. But once our work is complete, then what we have to do? We have to just disconnect it. Okay. So the seventh step is clean up the environment, and how it will be done. That listen to it. The after completion of the work. So once your work is complete, it is required to close the connection. Okay. So we have established a connection between MySQL and Python. So obviously we have to close the connection established during the connectivity. So how we are going to close this connection so that no further transaction can be performed between Python and MySQL? So we have to write a statement that connection of, first we have to write the connection object. Okay, and then dot, and then we use the function that is close. So this close function will basically close the connection between the MySQL and Python. Okay. So these are basically the 7 important steps that we have to follow to establish the relationship, to establish the connection between the MySQL and the Python. Okay, I hope you understand all these steps. So in the next lecture, we are going to develop an application through which we can access records which is present in the MySQL. So that's all for today. Have a nice day.